again thanks for the time constraint and limited speech. So Dr. T.R. Basraman sir is the chairperson for School of Mechanical Engineering. So monthly, minimum 2 to 3 days, who is visiting our campus. Whenever he is coming, he is bringing industry leaders to this campus. So faculty members and research scholars kindly make use of this good opportunity provided by our chairperson. Okay, with this I think I request Administrator to take over the session and thank you.
Good morning everyone. Thank you for the team of SRM College for being such a nice host. I enjoyed some sumptuous breakfast in the morning. I have also my colleague Anamika who has joined in. She also would be demonstrating a bit of how it can be useful. So let me begin with a thought. So technically, if you see, for all these years and ages that we have grown up, or the stories that we have heard, technology has always been for lucky few, right? And when I say lucky few, I don't mean lucky. I mean people put hard work, they toil, they learn, they figure out, and technology was restricted to people who would know certain skills. For example, programming is a skill which was congruent to how well you would understand technology, isn't it? Right? What generative AI has done is that it has democratized the technology. And when I say it has democratized the technology, which means anybody, anywhere, with any skill today can use technology to how he she feels would benefit them, their work, their life, anything, right? For example, when ChatGPT first came on 30th November 2022, within 1 week of discovering it, the first thing that I did was I told it to write a poem for my wife, which I could not do, right? And it wrote a poem because it could generate. That is what it could do. It could generate, right? So today, as we discuss and as we talk, I would like to cover a few points. I would like to not only talk about ChatGPT, I would like to talk about from an academia point of view, from a point of view where we are researchers, we are teachers, we are interacting, we are teaching, we are building careers. What best can be done to optimize our work, to strategize our work, right, using GPT. And when I say GPT, probably I'll try showing you multiple use cases. However, what I would want to tell you is that you can best learn once you try it, right? Demonstrations and what you see may look magical or may look nice, but unless you go home and try it on your own, there would be one or the other thing that would be missing. So I would request everyone that once this session is over, I think if you could go back, download GPT on your mobile, try some stunts, try some figuring out, and that would really help, right? Before I start, want to just quickly check how many of you have used ChatGPT. Please raise your hand. Wonderful. So almost everyone has used ChatGPT. How many of you have ChatGPT on your mobile? Okay. How many of you have the paid version of GPT? So technology, free technology is really good, isn't it? Right? But yes, there are. So I'll probably cover that. But before that, I'll quickly also set the context, right? That I am not a programmer. I am not a technology guy. I did my mechanical engineering from one of the reputed colleges, and after that I was working with Tata Tele Services, and then I became an academician. I became a trainer, a teacher, and now I am driving business growth for a unit called Advanced Credential, which has various certifications for my line of work, where I have grown the business to reach to over 60 countries in the world. Expand on what I want to focus on is that I am not going to teach any programming today. Right? I am not a tech person. I am not a technology person. So I am going to democratize the technology for you, whether it is ChatGPT or any other tool that I will show across. Right? So let me first start by doing a small demonstration, right? And hopefully this would work, because sometimes it depends on the internet, and I'm using my mobile right now. So yeah, so let's look at meeting breeze. I hear me. So I would want you to greet everyone in Tamil for me and also set the context of how generative AI is transforming life of academicians.
Of course, Amish. Here's the greeting and context setting in time. வணக்கம் எஸ்ஆர்எம் பொறியியல் கல்லூரி மாணவர்கள் மற்றும் பேராசிரியர்கள். நாங்கள் உங்களுக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் ஸ்வாகதம் தெரிவிக்க விரும்புகிறேன். ஜெனரேட்டிவ் AI தொழில்நுட்பம் தற்போது கல்வி உலகில் பேராட்சியை ஏற்படுத்தி வருகிறது. இது ஆராய்ச்சி.
Can you be a little faster and louder and more cheerful?
Absolutely. வணக்கம் எஸ்ஆர்எம் பொறியியல் கல்லூரி மாணவர்கள் மற்றும் பேராசிரியர்கள். உங்களை தமிழில் வாழ்த்துவதில்
I want a little more excitement.
வணக்கம் எஸ்ஆர்எம் பொறியியல் கல்லூரி மாணவர்கள் மற்றும் பேராசிரியர்கள். உங்களை அனைவரையும் சந்திப்பதில் நான் மகிழ்ச்சியாக உள்ளேன். ஜெனரேட்டிவ் AI இப்போது கல்வியின் உலகத்தை பெரும் வெறியுடன் மாற்றி அமைக்கிறது. இதை பற்றி மேலும் ஆராய்ச்சி செய்யலாம், கற்றுக்கொள்ளலாம் மற்றும் புதுமையை உருவாக்கலாம்.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So what it is capable of and where it is shaping up is much faster, much bigger, and much sooner than we all think. To easily translate, talk, move around, hire cabs in Russian, almost as if it was effortless because I was using this technology, right? Now, he's still excited about being here. So now, let me burst some myths about AI. I think AI has been also overrated a bit, so it's important for me to burst some myths, and it's important that you get the context right before we get into the session. The first myth that I always feel is that what AI can do is objective and unbiased because humans come with their own biases, isn't it? We all come with our own biases about so many things, isn't it? And then we feel that machine or AI or a computer program would be objective and unbiased, but that's not true. There have been multiple cases where AI has proven to be biased. I don't know whether you have heard of the Gemini Google case where even when they were typing in create photos of German soldiers in World War II, it was creating photos of brown and black men rather than white men, which was the German soldier, because the data that it read in was biased, right? The data it was trained on was biased. So to say that that AI is objective and unbiased is wrong. There are multiple cases where biasness of the AI tool is based on what it has learned from, and if what it has learned from is biased, then it will be biased. In fact, it would be 10 times more biased than what a human can be, right? So that is one myth that I truly want to burst. The second myth I want to burst is AI is always accurate and reliable, right? How many of you have ChatGPT on phone? Okay, can you open it and type how many, put a capital R and then put S, which basically means how many R's are there in strawberry? Right? How many R's are there in strawberry? But I want you to put R in caps and then give a space and then put S in small. How many R's in strawberry? What does it show? So I would like to show you what it showed to me in the morning. How many R's are there in the strawberry? I don't know what it's showing now because I corrected it. But then what it showed me in the morning was there are 2 R's in strawberry, right? There are how many R's? There are 3 R's. So it's not necessary that you would find, just give me a second. Yeah. AI to be accurate and reliable always. In fact, some time back, this strawberry was trending on Twitter because they said that ChatGPT just can't read how many R's are there, right? Yeah. Still 2. So they have not corrected it, yeah? You are getting 3. So for him, they have corrected it. For you, it has not corrected. So yeah, so it's figuring out the algorithm. But yes, there is an error. So it is not accurate and reliable. So let's also understand that, right? Third is, and as Parashuraman sir already said that AI will replace you. I think this is also a myth. The reason being that, I don't know whether you have read the different levels of AI. Anybody who has read different levels of AI? We are in narrow AI right now. I hope all of you know. Then comes in the idea of AGI, and then comes in the idea of super AI, right? So all that we are seeing today, all the AI in our world that we are seeing today is narrow AI, including ChatGPT. It is not AGI, right? So, and just to ask everyone and involve everyone, what is the most basic use or application of AI that you have seen in our everyday life? Every day we see it. Anyone? Gmail? All of us use Gmail, right? How do you think a mail comes in and goes to updates folder and promotions folder and the inbox and everywhere else, right? Netflix, right? Social media, we watch and it recommends us to watch more and more and more and more and more, right? So you have a recommended AI, and these are types of narrow AI, and I'm purely talking from the use perspective. I'm not using technical terminologies which would get us marks in university examination. But largely, if you see, facial recognition, Digi-Yatra is an AI, right? Voice recognition is an AI. So it's not that AI is new. Chess, playing chess, right? When we would play chess in computer, not with humans, it was a AI, right? So AI has evolved. AI has evolved from being a generic AI to a generative AI. And when it says generative AI, it just means that it can generate content. It can create something absolutely new which never existed before, right? It could create something absolutely new, and that's why it's called generative AI. That is why it's called generative AI, because it can create a poem if you type in, which never existed before. It can create an image which never existed before, and it can be done by you prompting. It can be done by you typing in something and it will give you the result. But remember, that result necessarily need not be reliable and accurate. It need not be objective and unbiased. And when it comes to AI replacing you, as again Parashuraman sir said, it is you knowing AI who would survive. Not knowing AI is not an option today. And it would not be an option in times to come. And it is very, very important for all of us to understand that and agree to it. I see a lot of resistance, especially from academia. I don't know why. In fact, some of my industry friends are also they are neglecting this technology, saying that no, world is much better without AI. But remember, world moves ahead. I think the same feeling a lot of people would have gotten when cars would have come into picture. But we have an automobile department here, and who's inviting companies, and so many students are studying, isn't it? Right? The same feeling would have been there when printers would have come in, when so many technological inventions have been made. It's about embracing it. It is about imbibing it. So it's important that we look at some data before we get into. And why am I showing this data is because I want you to understand that you cannot escape it. You cannot resist it, and it's important that you focus on it and learn it and master it for your benefit and for organization's benefit that you're working for. 1 million users in first 5 days of launch, and this was more than Instagram. Right, when ChatGPT was launched. Over 200 million active users currently, 1.6 billion monthly website visits. ChatGPT reached 5 million downloads in just 3 weeks. Just 3 weeks. And this was faster than anything that mankind had seen. And it was not the best looking website. From a user interface, there are hundreds of better looking sites, etc. It was an average looking site. The user interface was poor, but still, because the usability and what it brought in was the key aspect that came in. If you look at how geographical distribution of ChatGPT is working, USA is leading with 14.82% of users. India follows with 8.18% of users. 73% adoption rate in India of people who know about and are using it, and that's very clear with how many people raise their hand here. 45% adoption rate in US and 29% adoption rate in UK. Now, jobs. Now, this is something that we all worry about. So, would there be a disruption in jobs by AI? I think if you are closely interacting with industry folks in different parts of the world, you would realize that that is already happening.
It's not that it is not happening, right? These are data by top bodies. Goldman Sachs predicts 300 million jobs can be impacted by AI in 2030. McKinsey says that by 2030, generative AI could automate 29.5% of hours worked in US economy, up from 21.5, right? And then we have some interesting projections and some positive projections. And when we look at these positive projections, which talks about generative AI in business improves user performance by 66%, and AI has potential to deliver over 13 trillion. Indian economy is, I think, 2.83. We are talking about 13 trillion of added value to global economy by 2030. The generative AI is projected to create nearly 20 times more revenue in 2032 than it did in 2023, which is in 9 years, which is 1,840% increase, right? So why is this happening, and what is in it for us? We are educators, isn't it, right? So what is in it for us? This is very, very important. Is it an opportunity for us as educators? Right? Is it an opportunity for us as teachers, as somebody who's shaping up lives, as researchers, as PhD students who may get into teaching or otherwise, right? One big thing that is going to happen is that there would be unimaginable skill deficit and skill gap, right? And it is very, very, it is very, very evident. In fact, if you look at how world has evolved, Excel came in when? In 90s? Can anybody with 100% confidence say that I am 100% proficient in Excel? No, right? Yeah. Are there still Excel and MS Office training institutes running and teaching, and courses and online programs and self-paced programs and Coursera programs on that and university programs on that which teach Excel? Yes or no? If it has taken 25, 30, 35 years for a technology to be mastered, but it has not been mastered and still being taught, I think generative AI also has a long way to go, and we have to understand this as educators, right? We have to understand this as educators, and this is very, very important because we are in the field of teaching, and that is something that we are doing. So if you look at this, McKinsey predicts 2 kinds of data sets. One is 83 million jobs will be lost, but it also says 97 million new jobs will be created. So what are these jobs? Isn't that an important question educators should ask, right? According to IMF, by 2027, 50% of employees, which means people who are working, would require reskilling. They are not calling it upskilling. Remember, the term is reskilling. Reskilling means have to get skilled again, not a up. You're not doing a normal movement up in terms of what you already know, but they would need reskilling. And United Nations projects that by 2030, 40% of children entering primary school today will work in jobs that are yet to exist. These are very important data, and it's a hint for us. It's a hint for us to understand what the future of work should look like and what we should focus on. So I don't want to talk too much in terms of this, but what I want to leave you with some of the future job roles. And you would realize that these job roles are very different from what you have seen so far, right? So when McKinsey says that 97 million new jobs would be created, what are the jobs that we are talking about? What are the areas in which these jobs would exist? What the job names, job descriptions, job specifications will look like? Here are some examples. HR algorithm officer, workplace environment architect, HR prompt engineer, work from home facilitator, chatbot and human facilitator, learning personalization designer, electromobility engineer, AI ethics and policy advisor, human-machine interaction designer, IoT solution architect, robotics engineer, edge computing engineer, energy systems engineer, focus on renewable and smart grids, AI integration specialist, predictive data marketeers, personalization ad experience experts, customer experience architects, AI human collaboration managers, marketing automation specialist, voice and conversational marketing experts, AI financial analyst, AI risk manager, fintech product manager, blockchain financial analyst, digital banking strategist, sustainable financial specialist, tokenization investment analyst, sustainable AI finance manager, impact investing specialist. And it is not in one area, it is in almost all areas, and the common thing is AI, right? The common thing is how well we know artificial intelligence. And if a finance guy, a HR guy has to understand AI, we have to understand that it is not technological focus AI we are talking about. It is as I said, the democratization of technology and anybody and everybody can use it that we are focusing now. And the reason I spoke about this for last 15 minutes is because I want all of you to embrace AI and not resist AI. Be open to AI. Don't think it as an enemy. Don't think it that it would replace you. Don't think it if I adopt, I would get replaced. No, if you adopt, you'll be more productive. If you adopt, you would be more needed. If you adopt, you would grow. If you adopt, you will get promoted. If you adopt, you would be able to do 10 times more things than what otherwise you could. Our company adopted this in January of 2023. We are a close to 40 people working company. Everybody uses AI. We have almost 20 paid accounts or 25 paid accounts of ChatGPT. Everybody uses AI in different spheres of the work that they do, and we are able to curate, drive content and outcomes and productivity 10 times faster than otherwise what we could have had, and no one has been fired. No one has been fired, right? So embracing AI is very important. Okay, so with this generic stuff, now let's get into the topic. And when I get into the topic, it's important that we understand that it is not only ChatGPT. ChatGPT has become popular just the way Orkut had, just the way Facebook is or was, I don't know, because now we have more Instagram users than Facebook users, right? So yes, ChatGPT is popular, and I mean, the session name itself is ChatGPT, but trust me, I'm not being paid by ChatGPT to promote ChatGPT here. It's just that it is one of the most useful tools that is available right now. If it was Perplexity, I would probably talk about that, right? So we have ChatGPT, we have Gemini, we have Anthropic, we have Perplexity, and we also have Meta AI. All of you have Meta AI, right? In your WhatsApp, can you see on top? It says Meta AI, which is an open source AI. Llama, if you have heard of, right? So that is something that comes into picture. So these are some of the common ones. And then there are hundreds of tools which can help you do faster things, faster PPT creations, faster Excel creations, etc. But the crux of it, but remember, those are wrappers. Let's understand that there is something called core, and then there is something called wrapper. There is something gift to mankind, and there is something called a wrapper around it. And when you look at other things like Copilot and a lot of other things that we normally use, those are wrappers which are based on the model that ChatGPT has created or taught. So today I would be discussing more on the gift and less on the wrapper so that you understand the technology better. Now, this is what Andrej Karapati said, right? The hottest programming knowledge in the world today is English, right? It is English. Isn't that true? Right? It is the hottest programming language. What can English achieve you? I mean, I'm not only saying English. I mean, the way things are shaping up and the way Breeze introduced and talked to all of you, I'm sure it would not be English. It would be any language in times to come. But as of now, it's English, right? That is the hottest programming language, right? Okay, so now I'm just giving a task here now, right? I want all of you to, a challenge maybe, right? Let's call it a day before Diwali, like a challenge that I'm giving all of you. You have to create this in 2 minutes. I give you 2 minutes, and this is what you have to create. Can you create this in 2 minutes? 2 minutes, I'm counting. It's 10:54. I've made it very simple and easy. I want you to create it in 2 minutes. Yeah? Create a 8-hour session plan on group discussion and interviewing skills. Student, create an email invite for engineering students, create an email invite for students. That second line student goes up. Basically, it is for engineering students. Create 8-hour session plan for GD and interview skill training for engineering students. Create an email invite for students. Create a poster for the training. You have to also create a poster, right? You have 1 more minute. Anyone who has done it? Okay. You have 2 minutes. You have to do 3 things. I'll give you 1 extra minute. It's done. All 3, please come in. The poster is also done? Okay. So it's a colorful poster, right? Very good. Let's clap for the lady. Very good. Very good. Okay. Wonderful. Great. So 2 minutes is what everybody had, isn't it? Right? Now let me just show it to you in terms of how it would be done in 2 minutes. Right? And I'm sure all of you would have tried this, right? But let me just, yeah. So what I have done is, I have right? And I'm sure you have used at a very generic level, you have used GPT at this level, right? Now if you see, it talks about introduction to group discussion, GD techniques and strategies, a break, a practical GD session, a lunch break, introduction to interview skills, mock interviews, break, handling tough questions and situational responses, body language, confidence, and this is the email that has been created, right? And this is the poster outline, and now I tell it to create the poster image for me, right? And what it does is that it looks at creating a poster image. It's still populating. We don't know what it would look like. But remember, it would be one of a kind. For the first time, this image would be created. Right? A poster has been created. A poster has been created. Yeah? Do you not like anything in the poster? Spelling error. Okay, okay. Let's try if we can correct it. Yeah? Let's see if we can correct it. Remember, though it is all about English, it does have some errors in it, right? So we will look at correcting it. We will say, right, in fact, let's see if it can correct it. Let's see if it can take. A lot of times it doesn't, but it's improving. Remember, it is work in progress. ChatGPT is work in progress. It normally doesn't take this long, but it's taking this long because maybe of the internet speed, because it's connected to my mobile data. Let's see the suspense. A lot of times it doesn't truly correct it, but let's see if it has been able to do it. Oh, no, it has not been able to do it, but it can do certain things. For example, if I go back and if I say, right, create an image, right, and create an image of my pet, and my pet was, it asked me a question of what my pet looks like. Right? And let's see what it creates, and let's see if we can edit something with image of, a cartoonish image of, okay. So it's a small puppy, and now if I say that make it look sad, let's see if it can do it. Uh-oh, it's not, it doesn't want uh, uh, the, the thing to go. Don't want butterflies. Let's see if it is able to do that, right? So it is still learning. Remember, it's not fully equipped, fully, as I said, you know, it's not 100% accurate. It tries its best, right? But let's see if it is able to remove the butterflies from the images. A lot of times it does. It helps you edit images. It helps you do things, right? That otherwise, so one butterfly has been removed successfully. So basically you have been able to edit the image. You have been able to edit the image on the go, and that is something that you have been able to achieve, right? But more importantly, what can also be done for academicians? So for example, let me try something interesting. Let me talk about a lesson plan, right? I want you to create a lesson plan on communication skills, right? Okay. So it is now looking at creating a lesson plan on communication skill. But now what would I also do is, yeah, now what I would also do is that I would use one of my plans and I'll tell the GPT that go through this plan and make a plan similar to this in structure and in tabular form. Don't worry about the spelling mistakes, right? As it is given, right? But for teamwork. So I'll show you the plan also so that you are able to see what the plan looks like. But let's see whether it has been able to create a plan based on what I have inputted, right? Because I'll just show you what I have given as an input. What I have given as an input right? What I have given as an input is this program plan, and if you see, there is a structure to this program plan: topic, learning objective, focus area, methodology, and duration, and that is what it has tried imbibing and tried copying in this, right? Can you see? It has topic, learning objective, focus area, which basically means it has trained itself so soon, and it has, so if something already exists with you, right, and you want to create a structure of it, a copy of it, a plan around it, then you are able to put that across in a much better format and in a much better way. You are able to do that, right? Now, if I want, I can also put across create assessment questions which I will give as a test post the workshop, 10 questions, MCQ, 4 options each, right? Now, based on this learning plan, people who will attend the program plan, this is something that you would be able to put across and see, right, that it has been able to create the program structure or the assessment, right? And then I can also tell them, give me a PDF download. I can also take a Excel download. I can also take a Word download. Hopefully it will give me, if the ChatGPT servers are not that busy, I'm sure I would be able to get this, right? Okay, so I can now download the file here, and I can save it here, and I can open it and show you. Can you see that a PDF download has been made where you are able to download the PDF and you are able to work on it. Does it make sense, everyone? Yeah? Yeah? So the power of AI in terms of having this simple element of creating a program. In fact, I created a plan and a poster much sooner than 2 minutes, right? And if I would have not put, I would have said just create a poster without any words, only images, it would have created a poster without any images, and that is something that would have worked, right? Does this make sense, everyone? Yeah? So this is one good case for academics. Why am I telling you this is that we should not be worried about when we are looking at creating a lesson plan. We will be authentic because it is not taking our authenticity. You still have option to look into it, get into detailing, correct it, suggest the options. That is something that you can do, and you are still able to work on it, but in a much faster manner, right? If productivity is about typing it, right, then I feel that if ChatGPT is bringing that speed, let it bring that speed. I would use my brains for better critical thinking, more involvement in terms of I get more time to now improve the plan that exists rather than create a plan, right, that works in. I do understand that it kind of changes the paradigm in terms of how we normally work, but if repetitive works or some generic works or going to Google and copying and pasting was also not originality in a lot of cases, isn't it? Right? So if it is already doing it for us, I feel we can use this for much better outcomes, and that is something that we can do. Does it make sense? Any doubts, any questions in here? Anyone? Right? Yeah. Right. 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 Yeah, I understand that. Now, I just remembered that Q&A was towards the end. I'm into habit of saying, go ahead and ask. But yeah, I'll just take your question and then maybe we'll move ahead. Understand that how has human brain worked, right? If X is given to you, you will work on X. But if X square is given to you, you'll start learning how to work on X square, right? If we are getting, it is about how we approach it, because creativity lies in the mind, right? You can be creative with nothing at all, and you can be non-creative with everything that is given to you, isn't it, right? So if only your approach is and your thought is that, okay, this is something that I get now. Okay, I'm getting this question. Can you maybe play around with it? Can you say, can you make this 2 questions slightly humorous and something that would appeal to younger generation, right? Somebody who is 20 years old, right? Can you bring in the context of Tamil movies in it and give an example of using Talaiva or someone else, right? What I'm trying to tell you is that creativity has no bounds, right? The questions may come in, but how would you, or you would want to test and tell them that create a more advanced question. My students are better than this, and this is something. I don't want a multiple choice. I want a fill in the blanks. I want a contextual question. I create a situational question, and then you get to review it, and you get to work on it, and you are able to derive the best out of it. Imagine if otherwise you were given a task of creating only multiple choice questions. Would you do a better job there, or would you do a better job here where you can create situational questions, conceptual questions, behavioral questions, and so many other questions just by trying, testing, playing around, and still reviewing and correcting and being the final authority who gives it for his students to give an exam on. Isn't it? Right? Yeah, yeah. I'll come to questions little later. I'll just move ahead. There is a Q&A towards the end, so don't worry. By mistake, I said, there is a Q&A. But this is something that we have to keep in mind, right? Okay, so this is one use case. Is this clear to everyone in terms of how fast and how quick and just look at, I just put across a file and now it trained itself, and then it was able to give me an output specific to the quality that I wanted, or it is followed in, let's say, my organization, right? I want to invite Anamika. Anamika is my colleague. and she is driving a big project which is of translation, right? We are currently translating our entire course into multiple languages, and she is heading that project, and she is currently driving the Arabic translation. So I just quickly want, because that is also an academic use case, and because she is driving it, you should hear it from the horse's mouth. So let her give you an input, and then I'll be back on stage. Yeah, thank you, Anamika.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Okay, good morning. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I came to talk about ChatGPT. Here I have an Excel sheet, if that is what you're wondering. But I just want to take you through my life for the past 2 months. I have been working on this project and how AI has helped me work on something which I have absolutely no idea of. May I? Okay, so first I should say SRM is a very special place for me. This is where I started my job. This is where I got my first job through a campus interview. So it's awesome to be here. And I want to say ChatGPT got me this job. If all of you are wondering, is ChatGPT going to be replacing me? I was a housewife. I had a break. And all of you, and at least many female colleagues, should know how difficult it is to get back to the workforce after a break. But ChatGPT got me this job. So I got this job. I'm all happy. I got this job with ChatGPT, and I'm coming, and I'm going to be a content creator. I was a HR for 11 years. And then I'm so happy I'm going to be creating HR content. And my boss tells me, you're going to be translating Arabic. I'm like, boss, एक किसान में एक रघुताता हिंदी नहीं मालूम अरबिक कैसे मालूम. That was the way that I started the project. So my boss says, he gives me an Excel sheet, and he says, we have the we have the number of words in English. You're going to translate it with ChatGPT. Give it to a person so that they go through manually if ChatGPT made any mistakes, because ChatGPT itself tells you ChatGPT makes mistakes. Okay, so give it to someone, and then they will review it, and we will upload it. So I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, tell me what to do. So I'm starting the project with having absolutely no idea of what a translation project is. There are only 2 languages that I know, English and Tamil, and I haven't even translated any content to Tamil. So I'm not sure of the process, what should be carried out in a translation project as well, right? If you ask, we'll say, okay, take the content, translate it, write it in the language that you desire, and give it to them. That is the translation, right? Very simple. No, so I was just sitting here when my boss was talking and asking ChatGPT, what are the different processes involved in a translation? Just a minute. Okay, so it gives me a lot of steps. I don't know anything about that. Now I ask it, okay, I'm just going to be doing the translation project. What am I going to do? And it gives me a step of project. I don't know any of this. So how am I going to do? So probably I'll just start showing you what I am doing. So this is where all of our content is, right? So this content is in English, if you see, okay? The content is in English, the subtitles are in English, and we have translated it into Spain and Hindi, again using AI. So now I'm going to be doing it in a language which I'm not at all very familiar with. I don't even know to write Arabic in Arabic, the word Arabic in Arabic, right? So here's the content. Just say for an example, here's the content in English. So what I'm going to say is, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT to translate this. I hope you all listen to what Animesh spoke till now, because I'm going to be relating a lot of the activities, the do's and don'ts, or the challenges that you face when using ChatGPT, when using the work. So I'm going to just say, translate this content to Arabic. And this is what I did first. Okay, so I did this. And then this is just one part, right? What I want my final output to be, when Animesh is talking here, I want him to speak Arabic, right? Am I right? That is my aim. So here I have only achieved the translation part. So who is going to speak? I don't know Arabic. Animesh doesn't know Arabic. So who is going to speak? Okay, so that is where another AI product comes into picture, which is right now we are using 11 Labs, something called 11 Labs. And they have a built-in system where you can give them any content and ask the AI to speak in any language. That's all you need to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just 2 lines I'll take from there. Sorry, where did I translate? Okay. See, Arabic is from right to left. So I do not even know how to copy it. But I can still do it. Okay? So I'm giving it here, and I'm asking it to generate. Okay, for the interest of time, I'm just going to use 2 lines. This is a text-to-speech module that they have. So I'm going to say generate speech. So you can see the progress bar. If I have to employ an Arabic person, I have to find a person who knows Arabic well. I have to tell them, that I am a training institute, I have such content, I wanted to deliver it to this person. All those preliminary information I have to give. But within talking to you in 2 minutes, I have created an Arabic version. Okay? So all I have to do is download and upload it. In the interest of time, I'm going to show you where I've completed all this process earlier. So you can see here, it has been downloaded. I'll show you where I've completed the process and show you a Arabic version. Volume வரும்.
يوجد لحظة دورتنا متاحة بلغات متعددة وقد نحدث نقاط بسيطة في تزامن الصوت. مرحبا بكم في نظام التعلم CHRMP. CHRMP هو برنامج محترف معتمد بالموارد البشرية.
So I have not only generated the content, but I have also added subtitles, if you see. That is again a different process. I used Python to subtitle the project. I don't know Python. Again, like, A Kisan Raghutata for computer languages as well. I have not sat in front of a programming language, but this is what ChatGPT could do. Thank you. Sorry? Voice, there are customizations possible. You can use your own voice. You can train the AI to say that I want to use my own voice, or they have predefined voices that you can use.
Can go truly global, because language barriers can be broken. If it can be done in 60, 70, 80, 100 languages, we would be able to spread our training methodology across the globe. Thank you so much, Anamika, for demonstrating that. I have very less time, so I would want, in fact, I wanted to discuss something very interesting, which was training GPTs, which is a very, very powerful experience for all of you. And it would take 10 minutes or 15 minutes, so I'm just skipping that. But to the aspect of how educators can use GPT. Again, there are multiple points. In fact, I would share this presentation with the management, and they can share it with all of you. It is a door to so much of doing new things. Imagine right now, if you're worried about the question ka capability, you can be worried about translating it into 60 languages. It can be about experimenting it, planning with it, doing certain things, summarizing research reports. There are a lot of things that can be done. And not only summarizing research reports, it can just do so much more than what as humans we can do, and this is something that we should be able to put across. We can build custom GPTs. Currently in our organization, there are 5 virtual employees. Sandesh is taking care of media marketing. We have Chavi who's taking. We have about 4 or 5 virtual employees who have been trained by GPTs, and they are working wonderfully well. Sunny bot is taking care of all customer complaints or escalations and solving it with the accuracy of 87%. So this is something that is there. In fact, I'm skipping it because I want to show you a last used case. But before that, remember, there is lot to learn. There is lot to learn. A 1-hour session cannot truly do justice to it. Technology is constantly evolving. We as educators need to learn. As educators, we can change lives and update ourselves to upgrade everyone else, isn't it? Right? If I just ask, which is your favorite subject, all of you will close your eyes and remember the teacher first and then the subject, isn't it? Right? Most of us loved the subject because of teachers, and I am in a room full of educators. And if we update ourselves well, I think we would be able to change and upgrade lives, and this is extremely important for us as educators. Now, to end, and the last bit is which tool to use, right? And what does the future look like, right? Because we are too used to Google search. We have heard of Gemini, we have heard of ChatGPT, and we have heard of Perplexity. And I would just quickly want to show you a quick use case in terms of what is giving us what kind of outcome. So again, just coming back to can you see that I have typed this, best health insurance plan for my company with 50 employees in India, and this is what Google search gives me. Can you see? Yeah, sponsored links and a lot of other things. Let's go to Gemini and see what does it give me, right? So I type in the same answer, and now Gemini gives me what you should look at while choosing an option. Coverage, network, hospitals, add-on covers, but it doesn't truly give me options that many, just some names. Just some names. If I go to ChatGPT and I type in the same thing, I get, right? Response 1 and response 2, it talks about which response do you like, but one talks about group insurance plan, coverage, network hospitals, more or less similar to Gemini. More or less similar to Gemini. Now if I go to Perplexity and if I just type it in, let's see what it gives us, right? Let's see what it gives us, right? Yeah? So it says, based on your search result, I'll help you identify the best group insurance options for you. Can you see? It gives us the name of the organizations, what is their settlement scores. It gives us options of different networks, and it gives us links to search in terms of figuring it out. In fact, what I also did was, I just, again for time's sake, I just typed in, can you give it to me in a table with key differentiator, and it gave me a table in terms of which insurance I should go in with complete details, something that I could download, and then we zeroed down on one of the organizations and we took that plan for our organization. So can you see the difference, right? And how inferior Google search that we use day in and day out is, even to ChatGPT, when perplexity is now taking over when it comes to research-based searches and research-based, and as academicians, you should also look at perplexity in terms of how exactly it would work. With that, I would like to end my session. I had less time, but I hopefully have been able to make useful for you. Happy Diwali, everyone, in advance. Thank you.
Wonderful session. It's a very holistic way. Really, you have given more practical information. Anyways, totally we understood that the 1 hour session is not enough. With the support of our dean and our senior officials, better we can arrange a 3 days workshop for our faculty members. So I think once again we are welcoming you to this same institute and give a 3 days workshop. I think it's just need of the hour for all of us. So better we can arrange with the support of our dean and other things. Thank you everyone for participating this wonderful session. Thank you. Happy Diwali. Yeah.